This is not the Church of Latter-day Saints of Joseph Smith. This is the Church of Jesus Christ.
So plain and precious. Finally, the Book of Mormon is the keystone of testimony. Just as the arch crumbles if the keystone is removed, so does all the church stand or fall with the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. The enemies of the church understand this clearly.
Strav is when it gets on. So I see that the YouTube Mormon employee is not working today. And so I've got runaway views going on. Breakout videos all over the place. Mass hysteria, dogs and cats living together. So we're going to take advantage of it. Because it's the latter days in the learning of the Jews, and we're all about to die. And since I'm the only one who seems to know this information, it's up to me to try to save you. And you don't care. Hatred, hatred, hatred. So, Friday, Nelson came out and said Mormons no longer study their scriptures. It's not about gaining intelligence. He'd previously done away with an hour of church, which cut in half for the year the amount of scripture study as they rotate through the quad for which section of scripture they go over. And so now it's only half and halves. Half of the Old Testament, half of the New Testament, half of the Book of Mormon, half of the Doctrine and Covenants, or church history. And so Mormons are little by little here, and with the announcement on Friday, it's official. Mormons no longer are to learn the scriptures. It's not about learning the scriptures, it's about having the right feeling and paying tithing. Everyone else excommunicated. Excommunicado. And so, they don't want you to know that as non-Trinitarian, as this evening, in just a few more hours, they're going to have a representative from the First Presidency talk about how Heavenly Father raped his 14-year-old daughter to give birth to the miracle of Jesus, the gift, non-Trinitarian Jesus. Isn't that great? I would think Christians would be horrified at how abominable the Church of Jesus Christ of Participating Saints is. That is the new name, by the way. That's the new name announcement that he gave. No longer are Mormons members, they are participators. And so, no study necessary, just like in the school systems throughout this nation. You don't get graded, you don't get tested, you participate, and you graduate, and enter into the economy, into the job market, which I'm sure you'll do great flipping burgers and the French fries. Because that's about the value of your education now. You don't learn history, you get it all from TikTok, and they tell you to murder the Jews. Dear God. And you don't see what's going on in the big picture, do you? And so, because of this, I'm a rebel and I'm an apostate because I studied and I learned the truth. And there are Mormons who deny, and there are critics who deny, because neither of them study. That's even far beyond worse and abominable, is that they don't study, and instead of saying, I don't know, I didn't study, I participated. Nope, they come out and they think they know everything. And they just deny, just like trolls. We're all doomed. And so, you put your address. I can't. Jasmine, I can't. It's not working. There we go. Jasmine. So let's get to some comment reviews that are going to require you to have some background information through study. Oh, nobody's going to watch my videos anymore. I don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about stuff that I've never heard and felt of before. Learning of the Jews? That's not in the Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi chapter 1, verse 2. He's making that up. Hello, Mr. Goodsell. Interracial couple investigates LDS church, asks missionaries about polygamy. And so it was a little slow in going, and I had to do a follow-up video to condemn YouTube for silencing this video, for not making it as popular as it still needs to be. It's a breakout video, but we're still a long ways away, and I think it's now been canceled by YouTube. They finally shut it down, but others are cropping up. So, you owe me a box of Kleenex. Come on over and get it. You're apparently giving out your address. You bring the ice cream. I prefer Ben & Jerry's. I think it's the Jimmy Fallon one. Let me check. Jimmy Fallon, Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Yes, the Tonight Dough. I like that one. I also, prior to their late night editions, fish food and cookie dough, but they then began skimping on the cookie dough and became vanilla ice cream. And it does seem strange that they were anti-Semites, that they are anti-Semites. Doesn't usually leave you, especially if you don't go through the proper process for repentance and restore the damage you did and make sure you never do it again and blah, blah, blah. But still great ice cream. I know you are not trying to be comedic, but you have me laughing so hard, I am crying. Yeah? There's just a whole plethora of jokes being born and raised in the Covenant Mormon. I like seeing you have fun on your videos. Thank God it's not a makeup day. Yeah, no makeup. Ugh. Used to do the ward or the regional road shows, the competitions, and I was involved in 4 of them for every single year because of the move of my parents. We were able to get me involved in that, or was it just 3? But regardless of how many I was in, I think it was just 3, if I can remember right. which is unusual because they set them up so that they'll only have kids do 2. But so, yeah, the first one, I had a speaking role, and I was a mouseketeer, and right before, they didn't let me know in advance. It was just right before, and there's slobbering makeup on me, lipstick, and then I'm in front of the lights, and it's melting me, and it's melding the lipstick to my body. Nightmares. LOL. We have been using the Gospel Library app. I'm sorry. For studies. No. It's just for feeling purposes only. You're not supposed to actually use it. No. And a website called Institute for Religious Research. That doesn't sound Mormon. Institute for Religious Research. Faith in Christ. Now, IRR. This is where you're getting your information from, isn't it? Is Jesus God? Wait a minute, it is Mormon. What the hell? Wait a minute. Oh, it's okay. Dear God. Critiquing the Book of Mormon, the First Vision, LDS Doctrine, Polygamy, and then Bible Christianity. But that's the Book of Mormon, that's the church's font cover. Then they have Jehovah's Witnesses, and then other religions, Islam, Church Universal and Triumphant, New Age Movement, cults. Oh, you didn't put the Mormons in there. World religions. So let's click on Latter-day Saints. The Lost Book of Abraham, an award-winning documentary. Well, yeah, if you give yourself an award. If I were to do that, I wouldn't have room for all of my awards. Best comedic video. Fair-minded, well-researched answers from an evangelical Christian perspective, which you just contradicted yourself. Science, not another bias. Oh, well, this isn't evangelical. That's not evangelical. No, that is not evangelical. We're fair-minded and well-researched. Are Mormons Christians? Hell no. Let's see. Help for Latter-day Saints and those who care about them. They think you're retarded, Mormons. They're using psychology on you. Oh, that is hilarious. You don't understand, evangelicals. The church already owns and operates a whole field of psychology for the whole state of Utah. Oh my God. You actually think you're going to break through using psychology. from the Kleenex. Book of Mormon, First Vision, Gospel Principles, and the Bible. And they're using the publication of the Gospel Principles, which is for new members of the church, which, dear God, it is a mess. It really needs to be revised. But that's the problem, is that they're trying to use evangelical Christianism, non-Trinitarian, of course, and replace the learning of the Jews. And so the gospel principles are contradictory and incomplete, and they purposely have to leave stuff out. Not talk about what's not faith promoting, etc., etc., etc. It is a jumbled mess of confusion. And then race in the LDS priesthood. Brigham Young is a racist. But so was Jesus. And other recommended websites. So let's check the Book of Mormon. They have scanned images of the 1830 edition. Go to the Joseph Smith papers. You can do a copy and paste on a Word program. You know, scan pages. Come on, guys. Dear God. Faith and doctrine of the Book of Mormon. Is the Book of Mormon from man or God? How should we decide? Flip a coin. That's the same thing as read, ponder, and pray until you get the right feeling. It's just flipping the coin until it comes up heads. It's supposed to be more often on heads. What's going on? Looking at what Mormonism teaches. Oh, it's got two tails on this coin. Who did this? Looking at what Mormonism teaches about the Book of Mormon. Oh, dear God. And science, ancient history, and the Book of Mormon. Don't use it on the Bible. No, no, no. Just on the Book of Mormon. Not the Bible, just the Book of Mormon. Mm-hmm. Yep, because it's all the learning of the Jews. So are you sure you want to go down the science path, Mr. Evangelical? Modern origin of the Book of Mormon, 9/11, 1826, in Canandaigua, New York. See, none of this. All the videos, over 7,000 over the 7 years on YouTube, having been silenced. Nobody knows what I know from study. None of these people study. Studying is not learning what other people said and then parroting it on a website. This is not studying. Dear God. And so, yeah, I do not see the learning of the Jews anywhere in here. It's a real simple thing. It's right at the very beginning of the Book of Mormon, and nope. Nobody wants to see it. Institute for Religious Research. Are you kidding me? They are coming back with the area president, or the one that actually is at the pulpit. Apparently he was a DJ too. We got hands put on our heads and prayed for. Oh, this is the missionaries that came over? It wouldn't be the area president then. The area president is in the 70. I don't think they've got that big of a pull out there in Kentucky. I wonder who that would be. Buffering, lots and lots of buffering. Go Sox. Go Sox. Seriously? LDS Church Area President over Kentucky, 2023. That's mission president, not mission president, area president. First presidency announces 2023 area leadership assignments. Area presidencies, but that's, don't think that would be a list. Let's check it and see if the church can pull it off here. View or download. Chart of area presidencies. Oh, yep. Yep, we got it. Yeah, it would, it's way too small. Okay, so we're going to have to download it in a PDF form. This was from 2022, so it doesn't include the new assignments that were given this year. And then we use this app. And then, yeah, it has pictures. And we gotta get into the right file. Area leadership. Good, it's large size. And then we'll save it as a JPEG. All right, and then see, study is just a waste of time. I could have just had the right feeling hours ago. Wouldn't have to do none of this. So, for Kentucky is 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. North America, Northeast. It would be Alan D. Hayne, or Haney. Yeah, there's an I in there. Haney. He's the president. You sure that's him? The first counselor, which is always to the right of the individual, so it's on the left, is Vaangna Skahinia. Polynesian, obviously, as I'm butchering it. And Matthias Held is the second counselor. And so typically the first counselors are more of a strict conservative personality, and the second counselors are the liberal, carefree personality. But I'm getting a sense that it's the other way around in that case. Just my experience as a Mormon born and raised in the covenant. Alrighty. And so most likely, as if these are missionaries that you're talking about now, that they would have brought in their they have the missionaries that have an area that they cover, and then there's a district leader over a group of missionaries, and then there's a zone leader over a group of districts, and then there's the assistant to the president, as the president is over the whole mission. And so an area president, that if they said president rather than leader, it is likely that it is the ward mission president rather than the mission president, unless the missionaries told the truth to their district leader when they had to call in their numbers for the week and said, we told James he's a fence sitter in the premortal council of heaven. I think we might have lost them. And so in that particular case, maybe the mission president was the one that came to see you. Let's see if we can find out who he is through study rather than reading, pondering, and praying and getting an answer that way. Church mission president, Kentucky, Rick Woodbury. Kentucky Louisville Mission. Oh, dear God. Let's see if we got a picture here. He's got a LinkedIn page. He's completely changed his LinkedIn profile. So we'll do a copy and paste of this for you. Oh, no picture. Come on, Rick. Come on. He went to Harvard. And so since we know his name, Rick Woodbury. Facebook, W. Richards Woodbury, Kentucky. Yep, there it is. That's 2011. Come on. You tricked me. They wouldn't keep him for over 10 years. We're just going to leave you there to die. There it is. David B. McGinn. Okay. And that's a brand new assignment. Ooh. January 6, 2023. 2023 mission leadership assignments announced. So yeah, he would have been put in May to July. 6 new missions this year, bringing a total 40, 61. July, yeah. Begin 3-year service. And so, scroll down. Scroll down. America Central. Kentucky oh, we can click on them. David B. and Lori McGinn. Banda, Barlow, Carter, Galotera, Gonzalez, Harker, Heckman, not Hellman, Fernandez. There we are. There, I'll look at the happy couple. So we'll open this Now it's just a tiny little picture. So the bigger your screen that you watch this on, it's even, web page. Nothing but grief. Nothing but grief. And they don't even have the name right. We'll get this one too. Maybe we'll. They have 5 children, so she's a slacker. Need to give him more 11-year-old child brides to obey Nelson. So those are the 2 best options, because any lower down, it's going to be difficult to find. Although with your address, we could probably find your ward building. Closest LDS church. They provide 2 in Tennessee, but the A1 is in Kentucky. Christian Church in Whitley City, Kentucky. And it's got a website. Wow. It's on 70 Crit King Road, Whitley City, Kentucky, 42635. And it's English. It's 8 hours long. Yep, there's the 2 hours. 2-hour format. So you can sit for 2 hours and get spiritual witness feelings. And today, Mormons had to sit for an hour to listen to other people talk about their feelings. What you can expect. If you're attending church for the first time, you may be a bit nervous. They may ask you to be baptized and start paying money to them immediately. No worries. We're here for you to take your money. Want to attend but don't want to go alone? Yep. Hide in a crowd. Join us as we serve. Can everyone attend? Yeah. And all you have to do is pay. You don't even have to be a member anymore. It's just participation. If you don't have any kind of membership records, you're just paying tithing, you're in, you're participating. That's all it takes. And you can go to the temple. You can get a calling. That's the big news on Friday. You just have to start paying, and you can fully participate in all things the church has to offer. Will I have to participate? They've already changed it. Yes. Oh my God. What should I wear? Yeah, as they've got a guy and a little boy in a suit. Whoops, surprise fee. Fine print. but you've got a job, you're paying tithing. Join our social network. Inspiration right to your inbox. Becoming Christ-like. Oh, dear God. Worship the raped baby, or the baby of rape. Incest, child bride polygamy. Wow, that is hilarious. Connect with us. That's the general comeuntochrist.org thing. Okay. So there's 3 wards for this stake. The Somerset Ward, 5 Southport Drive, Somerset, Kentucky. One in Corbin, 126 Lyric Lane, Corbin, Kentucky. And then La Follette, or La Follette, depending on whether French is used, 215 Wildwood Circle, La Follette, Tennessee. So yeah, you're right there on the border then, I guess, huh? Do you have a 865 or a 443 area code? Dear God, find a location. That is just hilarious. Yeah, because you were supposed to tell us which one. Los Angeles. Oh, God, they sent us on the church's general link. It was a Decepticon. Okay. That was fun. And so, yeah, if it's the ward president or one of the stake president, even, that would have been impressive. They do that. Before I left West Valley City, yeah, that's the name of it. That's what they were doing at a stake level, and they were wanting the leaders of the stake to join with a particular ward each month to do a blitz, which was pre-ministering before Nelson did the actual ministering program after I had left. And so that's what the church was telling the stake presidents to do, was to experiment with ministering prior to their official announcement to do away with home teaching. And so I got involved in that process as well before I was chased out by my bishop, because Adam fell that man might be. Yeah, amazing. I tell Mormons who don't study, and they're like, what? Joseph Smith is a translator, and the church is trying to murder you? You did a video on Adam falling, and the bishop kicked you out? I don't understand. I don't believe you. Can't be true. Doesn't make sense. It's in the Book of Mormon. And so whoever this guy is, he was a DJ. Did he also do boudoir photography? Why did you take that down? I was excited. I wanted to come see your channel on a regular basis. I was about to subscribe. Even though it's AI boudoir. But yeah, they gave you a blessing is what they did. And prayed for. Yeah, Nelson ripped out the whole Melchizedek priesthood that first conference. And then he gave an example of a good blessing, and he botched it. Oh my God, just hilarious. Good times. We're all dead. We're all doomed. Then asked if I felt anything. Yeah, I felt your hands on my head. Now I gotta go brush my hair and probably wash it. They put the oil on, didn't they? Yeah, that was a blessing. Even though creeped out was going through my mind, I just said happy. What the hell? You can say hell. It's okay. It's a Bible word. It's about 13 miles from us. Oh, okay. That's the... So that's not your address. Or is that your address? 13 miles from your address. And then she's now talking to Mark. Back off, Mark, or I will smite you. LOL. By the way, how are you and Robin doing? She's gone silent for a while. I don't think she's been around lately. Nope. Nope, she's gone. She's dust in the wind. She ran away. She flew away. Story of my life. And I heard your rock lobster hum. Yeah. B-52s. Own Private Idaho. They're constantly on my mind. May the force be with you. Here was Robin from several days ago during her blitz, and it's on the interracial couple. And so, yeah, this polygamy video, Robin is easily triggered by polygamy. She's had some trauma, and apparently there was an ex involved, and cheating, and multiple cheating. So, yeah, I feel for Robin. No, but Joseph was a Mason. And so, yeah, I have caught on to her pattern. She was watching the video and would make comments as she was watching the video. That's what I found out. And so this is the part of the video that had something to do with to do. And so she's replying, no, but Joseph was a Mason. So I checked that out, and it went from there. He was, but not until 1842. On the 15th of March, he became the Master Mason of the Nauvoo Lodge of Freemasonry, which was Scottish rites. And prior to 9/11/1826, Scottish rites had different rules, as did York rites. But afterwards, yeah, anybody can, it's free for all. They just wanted your attendance because of what happened on 9/11/1826. And so too many people just don't bother to study. They watch a video that scares them about the 33 degrees, and they think it's Joseph Smith Sr.'s York rites, and they're just not catching on. And so when I do videos about the Knights Templar and the Holy Grail and the bloodline and the Egyptian gold treasure plates and New Jerusalem in America, they're like, what is this? This isn't Mormonism. This is weird. Who is this guy? He's wrong. I don't feel good about this. I'm leaving. I'm going to put a hate comment before I go. Just show them how much I feel. And so, no, Joseph Jr. was not a Mason prior to that 1842 event. In case you didn't know, only Hiram and his father and they had to be in separate lodges because of the rules and regulations prior to 9/11/1826. And since we're at 45 minutes, it's Jasmine again. So this is the Jasmine video. I haven't heard back from you either, Jasmine. You've gone into hiding too. What is it with you women? You women! It's been 3 days, Jasmine. 3. Hello, Mr. Goodsell. Big, wide feet. We girls know what that means. What does that mean? Is that one of those feminine secrets? That might get me flagged. Guys don't know what you mean. Which means it didn't get flagged, so it was a Mormon employee who's male. How are you alone then? LOL. Oh great, you mock me. Mock my pain. Never do it again. I died that day. You have gotten us interested in the latter days, so we have been studying prophecies, reading the book of Daniel. We have also been deep diving into the Joseph Smith papers as well. Good for you. My question is this. It seems that Joseph Smith was trying to do something good with his religion and church. Yeah, Mormons would agree with you on that. Critics wouldn't. Yet had a multitude of haters. Yeah, they were the Danites. That's the whole thing of 9/11/1826. Is that there's this guy named Heber C. Kimball, the number 1 to Brigham Young. He brought him into the church. And in his Wikipedia page, we are told about his involvement with Masonry prior to 9/11/1826. And he knows all about 9/11/1826. And yet, for some reason, he leaves out certain key information that we would expect him to find, because this was in his journal book in the 50s, 1850s, 25 years plus later. He's in the valley now. He's writing in his journal now, and he writes about Masonry prior to 9/11/1826. And so everybody that would ever read it would know, because he claims that he's from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints through Joseph and the Book of Mormon. And so you need to understand this in the context, and nobody seems to know. It was just me who actually studies and caught on. It's amazing what you can find when you study. And so he says in 1823. What happened in 1823 for Joseph Smith Jr.? It's the bicentennial year, the second vision, which is an exact parallel for Lehi's second vision at the beginning of the Book of Mormon. Received the 3 craft degrees of Freemasonry. And they don't say Master Mason, but that's what it means. And then they say the lodge at Victor Flats, Ontario County, New York. It's redlined, which means there is no link for it anymore. It has been found wrong, so it was deleted. That area, prior to 9/11/1826, was Scottish Rites territory. So pay attention, because he's about to reveal something that he shouldn't have. And so Joseph Smith, likewise, 1842, became a member, and then the next day or 2 days later, Master Mason on the 15th of March, 1842. The Warsaw Lodge was furious with the Grand Master for doing that. And even more furious when Joseph Smith then did a mass membership enrollment in the Nauvoo Lodge. But all of these Danites were already Masons prior to 9/11/1826. They were specifically converted by Heber C. Kimball and Brigham Young. That was the first mission after they joined the church. They went to their homes and had a mass conversion of Danites. And these were the Scottish Rites. These are the enemy. In 1824, the very next year, the first year that Joseph Smith went to the Hill Cumorah to be taught by Nephi, not Moroni, but they say Moroni. He sent a petition to the chapter at Canandaigua, New York. Who was the master mason there at the Canandaigua, New York Lodge, Ontario number 23? Joseph Smith Sr. Okay? We know this. The records were preserved. Joseph Smith Sr. not only preserved William Morgan's book, he also preserved the membership records of the lodge. He's the master mason. That's his duty and responsibility. He has to hide the membership because people want to know who's responsible and murder them. But he says he sent a petition to receive the York Rite degrees. Can't do that prior to 9/11/1826. Of Royal Archmasonry. Oops, can't do that either. That's number 7. It's not number 4. Because if you read over William Morgan's, he talks about having to affirm with an oath and a covenant and a signature that he had gone through all of the previous ranks in order to be approved for Royal Archmasonry. Heber is talking about William Morgan at the Lodge of Canandaigua, New York. He knows. His petition was accepted. Was it? I doubt it. Although he reported anti-Masons had burned down the chapter building in Canandaigua. Now you understand why he leaves out certain key information? But Joseph Smith preserved those records. And Heber, no. Nope, he's lying. But you can see that Heber C. Kimball in his lies reveals what he does know. You don't need to be a seer to catch on. Heber C. Kimball is the Danite leader under Brigham Young. Because that's exactly what they did. They joined the church, 1832, and went right to their hometown where there were a bunch of disgruntled Scottish Rites members who want to overthrow the government, but that incident on 9/11/1826 foiled their plans. They want revenge. And Heber C. Kimball goes back and says, we found them, let's get them. They joined the church. They likewise became missionaries, going around converting people who were and weren't Scottish Rites Illuminati. The inverted pentagram. And those who weren't, they told them that it's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, non-Trinitarian. and that the Book of Mormon is another testament of Jesus Christ. Right, President Russell Marion, a.k.a. Lucifer Nelson? Book of Mormon is so true as prophetic learning of the Jews' literature. And so they were constantly stealing, raping, murdering, burning their neighbors down. And the neighbors were either told or assumed it was Joseph Smith and his Mormons. And so thus, tar and feathering and locking up in jail on a constant regular basis, all to get Joseph Smith out of the way. And as 1834 came around, Brigham Young was placed in the Quorum of 12, and along with Heber C. Kimball, because of their great work in converting so many new members, participants. And that's when they escalated things for the sole purpose of 1838 with the coup. They tried to do it through the bank that Joseph Smith had set up, Kirtland Safety Society, and instead Joseph foiled it and was able to come back and run the church. And so that's when Joseph Smith then wrote the history, the 1838 version, for the church, not for individual people. And tells us exactly who is responsible at the beginning of the first verse, which was changed to the name of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints by Willard Richards in the Joseph Smith Papers. The very militant, evil designing, or evil evil disposed and designing persons militate. And so that's exactly what they did in 1838 after he wrote this. They militated. In Daviess County, Missouri, there was an election going on. The Danites gathered at a place called Adam-on-Diamond. It doesn't exist. They made it all up. They forged the documents. It was their secret headquarters. It's by David Newell K. Whitney, right? Section 117. Yeah, Newell K. Whitney. And then verse 11. Let my servant Newell K. Whitney be ashamed of the Nicolaitan band and of all their secret abominations. Nicolaitan band is from Revelation. That's code. It's the Danites. He's right there by Adam-on-Diamond, as they talk about it. In verse 8, Adam-on-Diamond. They spell Ammon wrong. That's how you know it's the Danites. This is a forged document. They were using Newell K. Whitney, who was a Danite, one of them, to say that Joseph Smith was not a Danite and was condemning him. And oh, look, Oliver Cowdery, July 8th, 1838 was supposedly when this was written. This wasn't put in until Brigham Young's final year before he died in 1876. That's when this was put in. It just all of a sudden appeared. There it is. Oh, look. It's in this book that was previously used and the ink was faded. And now it's all brand new, spanking new ink. Joseph Smith Papers. I can't believe they're putting it out. It's exposing them as a fraud, but nonetheless. So the coup, after they had election fraud, and the war got started by Chris Stewart's. He just got replaced in our government here in a vote on the 21st of November. He got replaced finally. But his third great grandfather was the one, a Danite, who got punched first and laid him to the ground, and thus started the Mormon War. Because the Danites had the whole ledger that I went over with you, that 6-hour video. That's the ledger of the Danites. Every single one of those men had been there at the election fraud Mormon War start. And so after the war got going, then you have the Danites going to the membership of the church. They framed Joseph Smith, got him locked away in Liberty Jail. And this was a long one. This was for months that Joseph Smith was locked up this time. And they're threatening members of the church. Deny Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon in the learning of the Jews and join us, or get out, or we're going to murder you. And so David Whitmer left. Thomas B. Marsh left because of this threat. Sidney Rigdon gave his salt sermon. It was a total anarchy and chaos during that time period. It was a coup. And so, with Thomas B. Marsh gone and other certain apostles that refused to give in, Brigham Young, with his remaining 12, followed Joseph Smith in Section 107 and held a vote within the quorum for the next president to replace Thomas B. Marsh, who left. They voted for Brigham. They didn't chase him out? They didn't threaten Brigham or Heber? That's interesting. And so Brigham Young then took over the control of the church from that moment on. The church was couped. And then he would go on to send a letter to Thomas B. Marsh and tell him, hey, if you don't show up on March 17th, 1839, you're going to be excommunicated. That's your disciplinary council. And so the Danites have been telling the story that has been perpetuated over the pulpit of conference by Hinckley and Monson and others, that it was his wife over skimping on milk. And so it escalated to Joseph Smith, and Joseph Smith is the big bad mean guy who excommunicated him because his wife stole milk. And he was just defending his wife's honor. Nope. And so, yeah, it was a big old coup. And so, yeah, dear God. But yeah, this is the whole thing with Adam on Diamond. Is that's exactly what they're going to do in the latter days. And they've done it. And they're getting so close. They just can't hire a hitman who can do the day that shall burn as an oven. And now they've got to wait until 8 April 2024. Which is right after Trump's trial begins on March 24th. They're setting this up. This should be scary if it wasn't so absurdly hilarious. And so, dear God. But Joseph got out, and he restored some order. And in July 1840, yeah, he knows what happened. He calls out Brigham Young as Judas and prophesied that he would murder Joseph. And he did. Willard Richards, John Taylor. So, Yeah, they multitude of haters within the church. They're the ones that caused the problems. They're the ones that caused Joseph Smith to write his history. In the learning of the Jews, exact pattern match for Lehi's second vision. It's not literal history. So that is why is that. I have to confess, at the start of my JS opinion wasn't good. Yeah, because John Dolan lied to you. He doesn't study. He just listens to other people and gets a warm and fuzzy feeling that Joseph Smith is the bad guy. He's a psychologist, that's why. But after studying credible sources and listening to you, he seems to be a good guy. Yeah, framed. Framed. Kind of like what Mormons are doing to me. The Gospel Library app, I can tell they hide things. Yeah, it's nowhere near the quality of this beta version of the Gospel Library program. But yeah, there's enough there to tell the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is just a bit shady. Yeah. The Danite documents are easily identifiable if you just know your Book of Mormon. Section 116 for Adamon-Diamond, yeah, forged document. But section 119, that's the tithing, which violates the Book of Mormon on priestcraft. No priestcraft. And there it is, priestcraft in 119. And so obviously it's not by Joseph Smith. But Mormons try to apologize to explain why Joseph Smith's doctrine evolved over the years as he gained more light and truth. Whereas critics go, something happened. Just like Oliver Cowdery when David Whitmer came to him and told him that Joseph Smith had become a Danite and was murdering Mormons and changed the name of the church. That's the forged document of section 115, which was also written right before Joseph Smith's 1838 history, where Willard Richards had to change the name. And Nelson came up at the pulpit of conference and quoted from section 115, the Danite document. Because Nelson is Lucifer, by baby name meaning. He is now the leader of the Danites that are cooing America to get their kingdom back. And then section 132 on polygamy. Nope, didn't exist. And you already know that because you found section 101. That was Joseph's. And that is in harmony with the Book of Mormon. 6 times condemning polygamy. And so once you understand these basic facts of church history, it's easy to see the damage that Brigham Young and his Danites did to Joseph's church and how completely night and day they are from each other. And so, yeah, there you have it. Ignorant about Mormonism, critics become very popular. Yes, they do. Alrighty, over an hour again video. I was hoping it would be shorter, but oh well, c'est la vie. The content you provide is valuable information because now that we know the final day of doom, it's now necessary for me to try to step it up with important videos to force a divide in Mormonism. Who's going to choose to be evil versus who's going to go, oh dear God, I'm in the great and abominable church. How do I get out? And so this is a big struggle because there just aren't nearly enough people to get a group together and flee for our lives for what's coming very soon next year. And so that's my dilemma. And I've already put out the call with the 6-hour video because I knew what that was about when I did it. I just didn't realize I was wearing the red shirt in fulfillment of prophecy for Isaiah 63. That was a surprise. And so, yeah. Oh, dear God. But, big difference when you study versus just having certain feelings one way or the other. Big difference.